Still live on GTV Breakfast. Join us on the conversations we are having across our social media platforms, and you'll certainly be interested in this part of the breakfast table. We are talking about health of pregnant women, where it relates to their unborn babies and babies that are born to mothers who consume alcohol. And the WHO is very specific when it comes to this topic, and they've set a day aside to monitor that very closely. Alcohol is now recognized as the lead cause of birth defects and developmental disorders in children. The WHO has devoted 9th September of every year to create awareness on fetal alcohol syndrome disorders. So fetal alcohol spectrum disorders, and this syndrome is a condition in a child that results from alcohol exposure during the mother's pregnancy. So when the mother consumes alcohol in pregnancy, the children can have such defects, and it causes brain damage and growth problems. And the problems caused by fetal alcohol syndrome vary from child to child, but the defects are not reversible. With us in the studio to look into this matter is a researcher and also director of ISH Concept, ISH Concept, Mr. Tettey Solomon. Tettey, welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
We are talking about consumption of alcohol during pregnancy. How bad are the findings, since you are a researcher?
Okay, thank you. So on a global scale, we have between 26,000 to about 526,000 people, and the number was actually deduced by my agency, my organization. This is ISH Concept. From figures, statistical figures, we extrapolated these numbers, and I want to say this: fetal alcohol syndrome, it's a spectrum, so it's not just one thing. So there are 5 different variations of the defect.
Okay.
So the mother or the umbrella condition is called fetal alcohol spectrum disorders. So that's the umbrella. Then the fetal alcohol syndrome is at the extreme. So there are 2 different, extremities. The very low one, which most people think they take alcohol and nothing happens to the baby. Or I took alcohol but nothing happens to the baby. I took some wine, nothing happened. They are suffering from the fetal alcohol effects, which is a very, very, mild one. Then the extreme one is a fetal alcohol syndrome, which now you see a lot of, physiological changes in the baby.
Okay.
So that is it. And locally in Ghana, we don't have the numbers in Ghana.
So we don't know the prevalence rates in Ghana.
In Ghana, we don't have.
Is it that it's not reported, or we have not studied it, we've not researched it?
There's been a little research. The most robust research was over a decade ago. Over a decade ago.
Is that why your organization is interested in
I want this want to do for life. So yeah, because I think we have a longitudinal research, because elsewhere they have these data from the 80s, but over here we don't have much research. So it's just bits and pieces of what comes to Kolebu, and the doctors put together about 10 people, which are cases which are very extreme and not the mild ones.
Okay, so talk to us about the characteristics. You've talked about the spectrum from one extreme end to another. Explain what that means in
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. So definitely, so as the condition gets bigger, I can say that the physiological changes or the physical changes gets bigger. So the first of all is the circumference of the head, or the head circumference. So people with fetal alcohol syndrome usually have a small head sizes, like the circumference of the head, and the eyelids, actually, it folds. So there's a lot of folding at the.
So we are seeing something on our screens right now.
Yes. So you see the folding at the ends of the eyes, and the main and one thing which is very unique to alcohol, and that means that there was some, utero introduction of alcohol, is the philtrum. The philtrum is the groove between the nose and the upper lip. So the groove between the nose and the upper lip, that's the groove here, is is missing in these children. So that's one unique, and they also show they're not able to perform in school. They're not able to perform in school. Some of them look quite normal. You think it's a normal baby, but they are not normal because they don't perform well in school, and they have other sensory functions, the disabilities, hearing impairments. Some also come with some heart conditions.
So all these are factors that assist in the diagnosis of children
Exactly,
with the spectrum of disorders.
So these ones are very, very visible, that you don't need so much, expertise to see. But the ones below the ones below the threshold, the main threshold, which is the mild ones. Yeah, we have the fetal alcohol effect, fetal alcohol effect, and alcohol-related birth defects.
What's the difference?
Okay, so as I said, it's 5 different conditions, mainly 5 different conditions. So you have the one which is basic here. It's a spectrum, like a scale. So the first one is a fetal alcohol effects, which is very mild, which usually you don't see. So you need the assistance of a pediatrician, a very good one, a very good pediatrician, and a psychologist to be able to diagnose this. And all has to do with IQ of the baby.
And how early are you able to tell that a child has the condition?
Yeah, thank you. In advanced countries, countries like the Eastern Europe, they are able to tell even before the baby comes out. They have certain genetic ways of testing.
Do we have those available here?
No. No, there are a lot of things which you can do over here. There are lots of machinery that we don't have here. But over here, when the baby is out, they can tell it.
Okay,
yes,
so they can diagnose post-delivery. And
yes.
Then what would be the treatment options available?
Treatment, we only treat the symptoms. So in case the baby has a heart condition, they target the heart condition and treat the heart condition. They attempt treating the heart condition. If the baby has hernia, they attempt treating the hernia. So that's what they do. So it's treatment for the symptoms and not to totally get rid of the baby. It's forever. You can't do much.
So we are talking about mothers consuming alcohol during pregnancy.
Yeah.
Is it from day 1 of pregnancy, or at which point during pregnancy is this most dangerous, if at all?
Thank you. So when it comes to fetal alcohol syndrome, this started when I was a student doing my undergrad in K University, and we started targeting women all over, and even as young as 16. Now you're getting to the high schools. Why? Because we don't want you to inculcate the habit of drinking. There's always, parties, house parties, and you get drunk, and something happens, something leads to one other thing, and sometimes you have, you carry baby without even noticing for about, a month or 2. So this alcohol, the effects of the alcohol starts, right after, fertilization. So the first trimester is the key, is the most, sensitive part of the condition. So the first trimester, but it doesn't mean the second trimester, because we have different metabolic rates. We have different hormonal changes. Some babies are stronger than some other babies. So the best way is avoid alcohol in your reproductive, age.
So once you are looking to conceive or have a baby, definitely don't take alcohol. At all. Because people say, oh, it's hard liquor that's the problem, so don't take like the hard stuff, the whiskeys and whatnot. But red wine is good for the heart, white wine is fine. Are all those to be avoided entirely? Yeah,
it's supposed to be avoided. Why? Because we have different metabolic rates. For instance, I react to alcohol. If I ever take alcohol, quickly, just these basic ones, I'm able to fall. So we have different, and alcohol metabolism is based on so many, pharmacological, metrics. They have something called the BAC, or the body alcohol concentration, and all these things are factors. The concentration of the alcohol that you took, the amount of water in your body at the time you took. So the best way is to avoid, because somebody can take alcohol, like my friend, a very good friend of mine. Her mother took alcohol, but she's one of the smartest people I've met when I was in primary school.
So the mother was drinking before she had her.
Yeah, but she's still smart.
She turned out fine.
Yeah, but she could probably even perform better. But smartness in school A is different from smartness from school B.
So someone will listen to this part and say, okay, I'll take my chances. Chances are my child could come out fine.
No, because when it gets worse, there are cases where somebody took beer. There's one funny documentary, I think I sent it to them, South Africa, and all because the way you metabolize alcohol is different. That is why you should avoid, because you don't have the means to check this basic, how the liver.
At least not in Ghana. when the baby is in the womb, we do not have the facilities to check.
Yeah, it's not even that. What I'm trying to say is that you don't know how your body will react to it and how your body will get rid of it, and it's a very complex, pharmacological, metrics. So the best way is to avoid, because somebody will take beer and the damage will be huge. Somebody will take MPhil and the damage will be very, very minimal.
Somebody saying cognac. I don't like that. Don't say cognac. So for people those of you who think, I'm taking alcohol to make, for whatever reason, like to make my baby lighter skin or to give my baby a certain, that is not good. Tettey, are you saying then that when you consume alcohol and you have a child who exhibits this spectrum, developmental milestones may necessarily not be met?
Yes, please. Yeah.
So they will not grow as much as you would expect.
Yeah.
What kind of support would you need? Because you've dedicated time and resources to this.
Yeah.
So this whole ISH concept is focusing, is adopting this as a project.
Yes, please.
What kind of support would you need?
Okay, thank you. So first of all, we need governmental support. The government has to come in. Why? Because this challenge is not you and your baby. Most people think, okay, it's my baby, I can waste my baby if I want. No. Most of the babies end up with, becoming, causing damage to society. So they end up, in all this hooliganism, rape, and all these, so most of the babies end up in that way. Because most of them have a condition called the ADHD, the hyperactivity. They have hyperactivity in the way they act in class and all that. So most of them end up in this way. So because of this, we want the government to actually allocate resources to this research, because there are lots that we don't know.
So it's for example, here's a question. He's saying, what about the effects of fizzy drinks on the fetus during pregnancy? Is it the same as alcohol? Fizzy drinks. So
fizzy drink as in,
I don't want to mention brands, but
yeah.
The sugar.
No.
That is also.
No. It's only alcohol. I'm talking alcohol.
Okay.
5% this year alcohol.
Okay.
And the government has to allocate research, a long-term research, because they are looking at doing a longitudinal research, not just a few 20 cases. So and anybody who would like to support this initiative, we have our numbers. It's ISH Concepts, and then with mobile money is 024-564-9822, 024-564-9822, and it's a merchant account.
Okay.
So you see ISH Concepts.
Okay. Cool.
And
Thank you.
finally,
quick one.
Finally, we are embarking on the health walk on Saturday.
Okay. The flyer you gave me.
Yes.
Coming Saturday.
Yes, Saturday.
Okay. And you are doing screening as well.
Yes, there will be some medical screening on Saturday.
Where is it happening?
At Legon. Legon, we have the Pentagon Hall to
University of Ghana.
University of Ghana.
Pentagon Hall.
Yeah.
Okay.
To the pool site, then we do some aerobics.
Okay, thank you so much for appearing, Tettey Solomon. He is a researcher and director at ISH. He calls it ISH concept, and they also invested into health research. They are looking into fetal alcohol syndrome. They are helping to create awareness on the dangers of drinking while pregnant and the effects that it could have on the child. Their message is not to drink at all if you're in your reproductive years, and definitely do not drink when you're pregnant, because it will affect the baby. We thank Ishmael for the effort. You can support the cause if you're moved to do so, and the health walk is on Saturday. We have looked at so many things in this program this morning. Remember not to miss that documentary with Napoleon Atukito on the Lifestyle Channel at 8, on GTV at 8:45, and on GBC News at 1 p.m. So Lifestyle Channel and GTV and on GBC News premiering today. It's live in the margins, and we'll be back. There is another...